What is up, Drama Alert Nation and everyone else that's going to see this video? This is not a Drama Alert video. This is not a news video. I'm making a video today responding to a video that was uploaded yesterday by H3h3, where he accused me of various things that can be proved wrong, completely out of context, just plain wrong. But the most damning thing that he accused me of is killing Etika. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Everything else he said in that video, I will be responding in a separate video, but I want to focus on this because it's just, you'd have to be the biggest scumbag in the world to try to pin another man's suicide on another person because of an internet beef that me and you are having, which we've been having for quite some time, and I'll explain all of that too. But to get into it, the basis of this whole Keemstar killed Etika is the interview that I did with Etika and some tasteless tweets that I put out. But more than anything, the interview is what gets the most attention in this situation because a segment of what I said to Etika and what transpired. We'll get into that, but before we do, first, I want to share a statement from Etika's own mother who texted me this. Hello, Keemstar. This is Etika's mother responding to you to address the recent threats and accusations that you received in relation to his death. I wish to inform Etika fans, friends, and viewers that Keemstar is not responsible for Etika's passing and should not be held accountable for my son's actions. Etika loved Keemstar's show and wanted to make his appearance both memorable and exciting. My son's goal was to make the segment as dramatic and entertaining as possible, not to use it as a vehicle of hatred towards the show's host and creator. Spread love and goodwill instead of passing judgment. What's truly needed is a much better platform supporting mental health awareness throughout the world. Please build up your online community with kindness instead of recklessly breaking each other down. In God we trust, you will take these blessings I send out to you. And I must admit, when I got that text message, I just completely fell apart. That is exactly what I needed when I needed it. Grieving with Etika's passing and then having some of these people online blaming me for his passing. So Etika's mom, thank you so much for sending that to me. She didn't send that to me yesterday or today. She sent that to me a few days after the passing of Etika. Also, I'd like to read some statements that were put out yesterday on Twitter by Etika's past girlfriend. He tweeted in response to H3h3's video, "Really sad to see people blaming Keemstar again. He was in no way responsible for Etika's actions." Let's think about it some more. One of Etika's goals was to be on Drama Alert because he respected that man. They were friendly behind the scenes. Desmond was actually unwell, sick. So in short, I understand that Keem's past makes it really hard for others to change that opinion. So don't go thinking I'm trying to make a divide between those who like and unlike him. This is just my take on the situation. This is the most difficult conversation to have. That's absolutely right. This is a difficult conversation to have. This is ridiculous, and we shouldn't be engaging in this whole thing. I shouldn't be forced to respond to this. Etika's death shouldn't be used as a pawn to beat me in this feud that we have, H3h3. You really crossed the line. Now, after Etika's past girlfriend, Alice, made these tweets, H3h3 fans started attacking her and harassing her to the point where she had to go private. She DM'd me saying that she had to delete everything because they were spamming some really inappropriate stuff to her. But she said that I could use the screenshots. And I said, no problem, H3h3 fans can be the worst. But keep in mind, during this whole Etika situation that was going down where a man actually lost his life, there were moments where I said some stuff that was completely stupid and wrong. And they're all over. Everyone shared them. But I did not kill this man. Etika's girlfriend also said this: "Please don't think that I'm trying to absolve Keem of the wild shit he said." And then apparently people accused her, but when she came out with these statements, of being paid off. In H3h3's video, he showed a lot of these tweets painting a picture that I didn't care about Etika at all, that I simply just wanted to use this as a spectacle to get as many views as possible. Like, that was the whole image that he put forth. He even found some tweet where I acknowledged that he was in a certain mental hospital. He even found a tweet and made this point in his video that I doxed the mental hospital that Etika was at. But for H3h3 to find this tweet, he would have had to go to my Twitter. He would have had to hit advanced search, right? put the user Keemstar in, and then put in Etika and see all the tweets that I've ever made about Etika. And if you do that, you actually get full context. On October 25th, I said I was really worried about Etika. If you see this, I want you to know that you're an amazing entertainer and thousands are counting on you to be here to entertain them. You have purpose. This was after he made a Reddit post that made it seem like he was going to commit suicide. And then he was gone. He was gone for a couple days, then came back, started streaming, and it just seemed like something was off. I tweeted out, I actually like Etika. I don't think he's evil like Fousey, but he's definitely manic as fuck. Quoting, he actually acts like this, because that's what all of his fans were saying. I said, nah, not like this. At this point, I actually thought something was seriously wrong. But if you are a fan of Etika, if you watched Etika, if you watched his streams, Etika, the entertainer, was very, very close to Etika, the guy acting not right. They were so close to each other that it was so hard for the fans and even myself to figure out through all these different outbursts that were happening over and over and over again. It wasn't one incident, it was multiple incidents. If he was actually losing his mind or if this was a publicity stunt, because he made it really seem like it was a publicity stunt. H3h3 didn't include the tweets of me saying, stay healthy. Or how after the interview, I seen a clip of him on his stream and he seemed like he was doing much better. And I said, whatever you're doing, stick with it. H3h3 saw these tweets, but none of these tweets were included because it doesn't push the narrative that he wants to push, that I killed Etika. We were going back and forth. Me and Etika's fans were going back and forth. Whether or not to believe that he was in trouble or to believe that this was a publicity stunt. And it got to the point where all of his fans were spamming clown emojis at him, calling him a clown because they did not believe that there was a mental issue. They believed that it was a publicity stunt. And I talked to the man. I talked to the man on the phone and he would be completely calm. He would talk about the numbers, the subs. He asked me once about getting verified and he thought, because he did this one publicity stunt where, you know, they broke into the door and took him to the mental hospital, that, you know, now there were these articles on him and maybe he could get verified. That's the conversation we had. And keep in mind, from an internet's perspective, he was taken in handcuffs to a hospital and they let him out hours later. I'm not a doctor. You know, all of us on the internet are thinking at this time that this is a publicity stunt. Before I did the interview with Etika, when we were speaking privately, we were talking about the man's career. We were talking about the fact that there were these articles, the fact that he was trending worldwide. But then once I turned the cameras on and I hit record, he immediately goes in to Etika the entertainer. Before Etika committed suicide, he left a video online where he says this.
You know, I wasn't suicidal before. I really wasn't. But one thing I didn't realize was that the walls were closing around me so fast. I really had no intention of killing myself, but I would always push it too far. I guess I am mentally ill.
Etika was so confident and so convincing that, like, it made it impossible to know if there was a problem or not. And I kept flip-flopping along with his fan base back and forth. He's got a problem. No, this is just a character. No, he's just acting it up. That's what I was caught in along with his fans. Also, in Etika's final video, he literally said this about me. Roll it.
Keemstar, I wish you the best, my nigga.
Yeah, Etika was a huge Drama Alert fan. Him coming on this show meant so much to him. And when he came on, he wanted to put on a performance, and that's the way I saw it. But in that interview, and the most damning thing against me is a clip that's taken completely out of context, where I'm talking about simulation theory, and well, I say this. Roll it.
Think about that statement. There are no coincidences in my world.
Because
everything happens for a reason.
Because it's all planned. It's all been pre-designed.
Everything. It's all predestined, Keemstar.
But
everything you've done up until this point.
But the scariest thing about thinking that the world is a simulation and it's predestined and all that is then there's no reason to live. Why not?
Why do you fear death?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's scary because if you really think about it, then why live? Just jump off a cliff. If it's just a simulation, who cares?
Yes, I said that. I said that to Etika. But why did I say it to him? because I was trying to explain to him that believing that this world is not real, believing that this world is a simulation, could put you in harm's way, could put you in danger. If you don't think this is real, then why live? You have to believe that this is real. You can't believe that this is a simulation. I wanted to put that warning out there. I was trying to help. I battle with these things to this day. But for H3h3 to accuse me of killing him, which you definitely did. I know you put out tweets, and I most certainly did not blame Keemstar for Attica's death. I think he created an extremely toxic environment for him and others. You definitely did accuse me. You implied it. You more than implied it. In fact, one person responded, I believe you said almost verbatim, it's really interesting that just a few months after Keem talked to Attica about jumping off a cliff, Attica jumped off a bridge to his death. Homie, you more than implied that Keem was responsible for what happened to Attica.
Keemstar's greatest moment comes when he asks Attica in a manic state, why doesn't he just jump off a cliff?
If you really think about it, then why live? Just jump off a cliff. Just jump off a cliff. If it's just a simulation, who cares?
Of course, hypothetical, but it is quite a coincidence when you consider that only 51 days later, that very same YouTuber jumped off a bridge to his death.
Ethan, you are a piece of fucking garbage. Garbage. And on top of it, you're a fucking hypocrite. You go on through your video saying, about all this mental health, and Keemstar had a lot of bad takes, which I did. Trust me, I had a lot of bad takes about mental health, and my opinions have changed throughout the years. But then, as you act on your high horse, you completely forget when FouseyTube was having his mental breakdown, you did a whole podcast roasting him over it.
Is he, I mean, I can't tell if he's just like cracked out.
No.
Or if he's just on a manic rampage.
I think, it seems very manic.
Yeah.
It seems very manic.
Training bra. You got a training bra on for some luscious breasts you've been growing. I mean, look at this frame. Dude, this is straight out of like a horror movie. Like, are you in my basement right now, Fousey? You might be thinking to yourself, he's like over him. Drake's sleeping in his bed. Fousey's like hovering over him. You might think this is a little strange, Drake. But this is God's plan for me to murder you right now. Clearly acting's not working out for you, dog. That was a pretty corny read.
Fucking hypocrite. You've always been a goddamn hypocrite. You used to call me out for making Jake Paul videos when you made Jake Paul videos. The other day, you tried to roast me on Twitter like a month ago. You tried to roast me for my hoodie. You said I looked like a 12-year-old. And then the whole internet had to remind you and roast you, this is how you dress. It was just absolutely hilarious. It's always a big swing and a miss, and this entire video is a big swing and a miss. In fact, in the next video, I'm going to address every single other bullshit you've taken out of context. I'm going to address you literally turning the guy who swatted me and swatted my mods on stream into a victim, which one of the best researchers on the whole goddamn YouTube, the platform is Gamer for Mars, who literally DM'd me this in disbelief that you used that. I'm going to address every single thing. And another thing you did in this video is an absolute first for YouTube. You went after my sponsors. If you think the YouTube community is happy with you right now, you got to be out of your mind. You have ushered in this new era where people that have beefs on each other go after their sponsors. Like, this has never happened before, but it's happening now. It's happening now. And you did that. You started this. And because of all the hate that G Fuel recently got from your stupid fucking video, I got in contact with them. I'm no longer with G Fuel anymore. I walked away. They don't deserve to have fucking hate because of our beef. Attica's fans don't need to relive this bullshit. It's always lies, deception, manipulation, clips out of context, spinning a fucking narrative that just isn't true. Towards the end of your video, you act like a victim. Like, oh, the big bad Keemstar has been after me forever and it's had a huge toll on my mental health. You said, thank God I have the support group around me. Well, I have a support group around me, and I can't wait for you to see them because they're really pissed off at that video you uploaded for multiple goddamn reasons. Good luck, Ethan, because you're going to fucking need it.